Hey everyone, hi, I'm DJ.
Hola, I'm Sophia Lapuente.
And I'm Jarrod Shusterman. We are the authors of
Retro.
Nice. Can you give like a short spill about what the book's about?
Yeah, sure. So when a big cyberbullying incident happens at a high school, Limbo steps in, kind of like TikTok, and what they do is they create this challenge. Everyone has to go retro for the year, which means you can survive without your smart technology for 1 year, then you'll get a prize, which is pretty much the scholarship of your dreams. But then things are fun, but then things start getting crazy. And all these different students are disappearing, and it's up to Luna, our main protagonist, to figure out who's, just making these kids disappear. Maybe she's next. Who's sabotaging this challenge. So it's fun. It's just like a good time. It's a fun thriller. You're going to leave it with best friends, twists and turns, backstabbing, and a twist that will make you come back for more.
Awesome. I was gonna say I really enjoyed this book.
Thank you.
And
Thank
no
you.
problem. And it made me think of like my high schooling that was like 20 years ago. Because it like the social hierarchy of the high school and different factions, different everything. So because it brought to mind of my high school, I could see like these characters as real people, and I like how you wrote them as 3D people, 3D, not like just written on a page. Like you can actually see these characters.
It was really important for us,
Yeah.
I feel like. Make sure that every character, you're like, oh, that's my friend, or I have a little bit of me there.
Yeah.
Wanna make sure.
Oh yeah, we really wanted them to be 3D because we wanted to show that these just aren't,
No one is perfect.
No one's
That was the
perfect.
main
And we
idea.
wanted to play with a lot of the YA tropes, right? I mean, maybe you have a mean girl or you have this bully, but it's like, okay, let's play with that. But what is the 3D element to them? What is that bully really behind? What's behind him? Why is he like that? Why is she like that? Why is our main character the way she is and so guilty and trying to overcome that anxiety that she has? So we kind of gave everybody these weaknesses that they could then turn into strengths.
Yeah, which I like. As I was telling you in line, the fact that Samantha, she was mean.
She was me.
She was mean.
And like, it's not really a spoiler because that happens right at the
Yeah.
beginning of the book. But like the way that she left Luna hanging in the mall with the backpack, and that was just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Did you feel the injustice when it happened?
Oh, I felt it immediately. In a way, I had like a feeling something was going to happen. I just had a bad feeling.
Yeah.
The feeling was right.
Good. Your
Yes.
feeling was right.
Yeah.
And the fact that, not really a spoiler because like I said, but the way Samantha's mom came right in and just, and she
Breezed over it.
Yeah, glazed over it, say you'll pay me later, which I was like, oh, okay. Like, how?
Yeah, she asked herself how I'm
Yeah.
going to do this, and it's not fair for Luna. But I think at the beginning of the book, you start to think like, I will act like Luna, or I will not act like Luna, because she does something that is why we have this book that I think we all will question ourselves what we will do if that happened to us. So
Yeah, I mean, would we behave the way she did? Would we?
Yeah.
Would you go and do that thing? I'm not going to say what it is, which then becomes a big part of her journey as a hero and growing into herself as a.
and we, for us, was really important to show that the main protagonist is not perfect. We want people to like the protagonist, but we want people to like her with her imperfections. Because I feel like no one is perfect.
Right.
And I feel like social media shows that some people is perfect, and I think anyone is perfect. So yeah, it was really important that people think Luna is real.
I thought she was real. I also thought Darnell was real too.
Darnell's
Darnell-
pretty real, right?
Darnell's
Did you like
pretty
Darnell?
real.
Darnell's real.
I was like, that's me. I was telling my friend
Even
Tiffany.
the hair, like, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes when I like
Little
brush it a
fingers.
certain way,
Yeah.
like he had sass and I was like the thrift store. I was like, okay.
You're like,
I mean, do you like the thrift store?
Yes.
How
He's
they?
like, girl, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
We're
I
gonna
was
take
like,
care of
so what was the real life inspiration for him and some of the other characters?
Darnell was, I think, Sophie. A
Darnell
little more
was a lot of
inspiration.
me.
A lot of Sophie.
And some of my friends.
Nice.
I have some friends in LA that they inspire me. Friends that I met when I came to LA as an immigrant, and I was like, people that maybe I would not have met if I wasn't living where I was living, and and trying to survive. You know, you need to find a new family when you're in a new country. And then I met people. I was like, whoa. And I felt like a lot of people that is not from here, their parents were not from here, they come with this no bullshit. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
And Darnell
That's
is that.
true.
And Darnell has the things really clear. And I think that was really, really important to show.
And I really appreciate you showing that. Because not only is inclusion necessary, I think, in 2023, but I think also the fact that organic inclusion, which I felt like as I was reading, organic inclusion, not only of her, but even Axel, like, I really like Axel. Who came off as
cool.
like, he was an influencer at the beginning of he's an influencer, and she did not like him. And no spoilers. But I was like, okay. Like, he's not such a bad guy in the beginning. So like, I was like, interesting.
It's the point like what people think with the social media, right? With we judge based on a photo or a comment or a video, and it's like we all are 3D. So that's the point. We are 3D. So let's see what is behind that screen. And I'm glad you like Axel.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you like Axel too. Yeah, I mean, he is a character that we wanted to show. Yeah, there is so much more to, and we all do it. We all subconsciously will make a judgment when we see something online, and writing this book has helped me be more accountable to be like, whoa, stop, you know. And we think that, for example, inclusion is so important because, I mean, morally, but also on another level of just being a good writer, because when you're writing, you want people to empathize with your characters, because if you empathize with a character, then that character becomes a vessel for you to be like a part of it, right? And what are you doing? It's not just criminal, but stupid to be exclusionary on purpose when you write, because you're not able to connect with everybody.
Yeah. And for us, it's really important, and this is our brand. Like, we need a diversity, but the book is not about that. Like, you have a story, right? In this case, take the retro challenge, and through that, we show you Gloria, we show you Luna, we show you Darnell, we show you Kilo. But that's not the main thing. Is the retro challenge, and through that we hear their stories, their friendships, their sexualities, their race, what they have to fight, immigration, but they have the retro challenge.
So like these issues, or even like talking about diversity, it's like the context, but not necessarily the main content, and that's kind of how the world is, right?
Yes, I really appreciate that. Like I said, did you enjoy writing retro?
We loved it. I mean, there were some.
As a couple, it makes us even closer. I think.
Oh yeah.
Aww. So
Yeah. So we had moments where, you know, driving in a car, instead of a car like this, we're driving together. Or like moments where we listen to songs from it. We always listen to "Heaven Is a Place on Earth."
I saw like that, and I saw Wannabe. Wannabe had a little
Yeah. For me, Wannabe, I need to say, Wannabe from the Spice Girls is my, I would say, song to go with my friends. So I will imagine my characters the same way I would do it with my friends.
Oh, and I like that
Yeah.
so much. So cute. What are you reading currently?
Right now, I mean, this week nothing because I was on tour. I'm reading a couple of books. One of them is Taylor Jenkins. I'm reading Carrie Soto is back because I want to say you're the first person to know this, but the Audible voice is the same one of Carrie Soto.
Okay.
So the Audible actress that is doing retro is the same one of Carrie Soto is back.
Okay.
Because it was really important that it was a person that knew Spanish.
Yes.
For us was really important for Luna. So I thought, perfect, I'm going to read Carrie Soto is back. So I would say that's the main one I'm reading.
Yeah, and right now I'm actually reading by Adeline Gray's Belladonna. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not normally like a super like fantasy guy, but like I'm just like I got hooked immediately. So I think like the rest of the world. So I'm excited to see how that goes, and then DM her and let her know how much I loved it.
I hope you like death as much as I do.
Yes, it's a prerequisite.
And I still haven't read Carrie Soto is back yet, but I will. I do have it on Audible, just like your book is on pre-order. So and it comes out February 7th, I think.
Yeah, February 7th is the pre-order. Yeah.
So I'm excited. What else? Okay. What would you, if you could had a chance, what would you revisit in this book?
I don't know if I want to say it.
I mean, it's non-spoiler. Yeah.
Revisit as
change or make better. Not that anything needs to be made better.
Yeah.
Claro, that's what I wanna.
I I think maybe there could be we could smooth out some thoughts or some things like that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
The characters will be a little bit older.
Yeah, maybe a little bit older.
Maybe.
We'd maybe tone the age up a little bit more. But again, there's a lot of aspects about them that are at the same time very YA 17
Yes.
older. But then there's some levity to it at the same time. So I think maybe we tone it a little differently, but pretty much the same book.
Okay, so because cyberbullying is the reason or
The beginning.
of why the story is the way, I mean, it caused the story to flow in the way that it did, the plot. Have you ever been cyberbullied? Either one of you.
So I will say that when I was in high school, we didn't have social media.
Okay.
So it wasn't that way. But I remember something, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to my friend, that she sent a photo to someone privately, and that photo ended the whole school. And I leave it as, I would say I leave it as Luna, meaning the sense of the friend of that person, and it was horrible, and always keep it in the head of my mind, like one day I want to talk about this, because the human being is not prepared for that. Like it's just so mean, so out of place that is not prepared. And the person that did it, it happened what happened to Luna. You send it to one person, a person to a person, a person to a person, and when you realize it's 200 people with the photo, no one was conscious.
And this isn't to like validate any actions of bully, but but most bullies don't know they're bullies, and that's why. When that's the crazy thing about it, which is why we wrote Luna, because she did something that's kind of in a gray area, right? But you still empathize with her, so we can have that conversation, because the people that we really need to be speaking directly to are those gray area bullies, because a lot of them don't know. So it's like
when you laugh about a comment,
if you laugh as a bystander, right?
Yes.
And I think being in the public eye more, we've experienced, I don't want to say bullying, but there's some negativity that's incredibly unwarranted.
Yes.
And it's crazy to see it, but we've seen an overwhelming, outpour of love and positivity on the internet. Definitely, I would say.
Cool, which I appreciate. Yes. And then there was a follow-up question. I like how you mentioned immigration and her fears of Luna's mom getting deported. Do you know personally, not like you would say their name, but has anyone in your life experienced being deported, or?
So I wasn't deported. I was threatened to be deported, and I know how it feels. And I know what was one day when a friend called me and he's like, "Hey, they deport your friend. He's been deported. We need to right now pick everything and move it to a storage, because they don't allow you to even enter in the country to take your things after 10 years living in the country." So I know what was that, and it was horrible. And I know what is being in the room in the airport in customs, where they are debating what to do with you. So that's why Luna and Gloria thing came with lots of weight. I'm on a visa, so everyone knows. Like, I'm not American. So there was a lot of weight there because of my friend that got deported, and because the threats of getting deported that I got.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's scary. It's scary.
And it's like not a thing that many of us think about.
No, it's just people have a wrong idea of how the whole system works. They think that you need to do something horrible to be deported, and unfortunately, it's not like that. Like, it's easier to be deported than what you think. Like, it's just, there's abusive relationships sometimes in customs, for example. So that's why Gloria is afraid, with all her reasons to be afraid. She's not exaggerating. It's like that. Like, one day you get a letter and you get valid. So that's how it works.
Nice. Not nice, but like nice that
to tell. No, people should know.
Yeah, I think they should know. I've read a couple of books of people getting deported.
Yeah.
One was Ernesto Cisneros' book.
Okay.
He wrote, it's a middle grade book over there, and the main character's mom.
A Friend Divided.
Yeah, A Friend Divided. His mom gets deported.
This is hard. It's scary, and it's real. It's not sci-fi. It's not exaggerated in the book. It's how it works.
And then I like how you, once again, it was handled organically, which it wasn't like you weren't preaching. You were just saying, "Hey, this is what's happening," and I really appreciate that as a reader.
Thank you. Because I feel like Luna is living it like that. Like, this is the situation in my family.
Yes.
Like, for her, it's absolutely real. It's there every day. You are conscious that this can end. So yeah. It's like that.
Very like that. Fun question. Have you ever wanted to own a movie theater or be at the...
Yeah, we talked about
Okay, so you know, this is our final dream.
Yeah, our final dream
When
is
we retire, we want to own a theater.
so the whole thing is we want to start writing books and we want to continue to write books, but then we want those books to be movies and shows that we direct, and then when we're done, we'll own a theater where we can watch all the stories
No, and many others.
and everyone else's stories.
Yeah, but
too.
we love to have a movie theater in Spain. That's our
Yeah.
dream.
Aw. In the story, Luna's mom, Gloria, has a movie theater.
And something I want to say about that, we give her the movie theater because I feel like there is a misconception of the immigrants and the jobs that they have. And it's like, I think that an immigrant wants to own a movie theater and be an entrepreneur and have not the jobs that they've been representing for the last 20, 30 years. Why not Gloria could be the boss?
Yeah.
So that's why it was part of it. Like, we want her to be the boss. La jefa.
Yeah, the chief, the boss. And speaking of, I was talking. I don't know who I was talking to about this book earlier today, but I was telling them how when I'm reading it, like there's Spanish mixed in, but it's not like, once again, it's organic. And then sometimes you did put what it meant, sometimes you did not, and I appreciate that. And I noticed that as a reader, I was like, wow, this is so cool.
And the next book is going to have even less in English. Like
Yeah,
it's
a lot
going to
more
be
Spanish.
more Spanish and no translations and no italics for Spanish. It's organic, and it's an organic language for many Americans. Maybe your grandma, maybe you, maybe the things that you like your friends, but it's my language, and it's Luna's half language and Gloria's language, and we want to continue with that because we think it's important. I mean, I wrote this book, but my main language is Spanish. So yeah, and we have a lot of fun choosing some of the sentences, like some sayings that we have in Spanish that maybe here are not common, but it's like I would say
a lot of fun with the translations on this.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Last question. Which 90s music album, do you listen to frequently? No, I know we were talking about like now everything's in MP3, but do you actually have
I have one, but now I'm debating if it's 90s or 2001.
Okay,
like,
that's fine.
Okay, for me, Servicio de Lavandería, Shakira.
Oh, yeah,
the beginnings of Shakira, for
Yes.
example. I really play that one. Like I like album, like the whole from
whole
the 1
album.
to the 12th
Yes.
song, track. I would say that one.
I don't have like an album. I do have my songs that I've picked, but when I was in the 90s, I had my first album ever.
Which one?
Was it was Eiffel 65.
Yes.
The I'm Blue. I
yeah.
forgot what that album is called.
I think it's the same. No, it's not Blue.
I'm
Blue
Da Ba Dee is like
Yeah.
the track on the song, and it still holds up. People, check it out.
I remember.
Hype man over here.
I remember owning that album. I think it was 98
Okay.
or right around there. I was in high school in the 90s,
Yeah.
and so my first concert was the Spice Girls.
Oh my god.
I
yes.
went. I was like the only one. I was the only guy in my section, and I think the one person over 18. And I was like, "What is this place?" But it was really great. I just want to tell
The
you.
beautiful thing is like when last year I think the Spice Girls did a concert in UK. It was full of guys and girls.
Great.
It was full of everyone,
Yeah.
everywhere. Like why not?
I think in this day and age, all the guys are very clear with "Wannabe" is like one of the best songs ever,
And that's it.
And you just need to accept it.
Yeah. And we talk about Axel actually about the toxic masculinity.
Yes.
But how not being able to accept certain things that are like, come on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had those comments or these conversations with my elementary. I teach elementary school, so I have these conversations all the time, like because one of the teachers had fingernail polish on, and a male teacher, and the kids were like saying derogatory things, like everyone has nails. Why not color them?
Yeah,
No,
And they
what-
understand that, but
actually what we show with Axel is like if he paints his nails, it's weird, but if you're a rock star, it's totally cool.
Yeah, what's
Like,
with that?
Why that? Like, if you're a rock star, cool. If you're a normal, like, you're not a famous artist, then it's not cool. It's like, why that? So we question that things. Yeah. You paint your nails sometimes, like.
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
If you do it, you don't. Some women don't even paint nails.
Yeah.
Today I have them, but I don't have them always. Sometimes he has them, I don't have them.
That's fine.
And
either
that's
way.
fine. Yeah.
But I would like to say, obviously I enjoy this book so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
actually giving my friend one.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. Like like I told my friend, when I share the wealth, but especially if it's a book that I really enjoy, I want to make sure someone else reads it.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
and you've
you.
been like a supporter of us even long
Always.
before the
He's
book
the
came
best.
out. He's the best. If you don't already know, you already know because you're watching his videos. But yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for this
thank you.
interview, DJ.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.